Greetings and salutations, ladybugs and gentle germs, widgets and whatsits, and welcome to the Just Create SSP, a YouTube playthrough of the Just Create mod pack, currently used by some pretty incredible YouTube streamers. And I will, if I can remember, I'll put links to their streams and channels in the description of the video. They are an incredible group, amazing builders, and they deserve all the credit that they should get. This was a playthrough very heavily influenced by the Just Create SMP server and series. And one of the reasons why I decided I wanted to do something like this is because the mod pack is so incredibly simple, and yet at the same time is completely capable, just as capable of any other most other mod packs out there. That's kind of why I am on the gung-ho side of getting this series recorded and going. Even though due to various and sundry stupid technical difficulties, it's actually taken me 3 or 4 attempts to do so. We are going to wait to finish up and tidy up our hobbit hole for just a little bit longer. I think... Oh, that was a smart... I'm going to take a second. Finish the teeny little tree here. Nothing fancy at all. It's being entirely manual. But something that we have. A means of collecting some resources pretty early on. Let's turn our checkers off. I actually forgot I had them on. Alright, almost there. Oh, almost there. So what we're going to do... So I'm going to dig... I'm going to dig a little mine shaft. I'm going to do something that just about every Minecrafter will tell you that you never do, and that is dig straight down. I actually have a little bit of a trick that I have learned through a little bit of experimenting that actually makes it a viable option to dig straight down. So right now I'm just going to stand on the edge of the that block there, so that I can just dig down. Now, if you are sharing the same block space as a ladder and you hold crouch, you will actually hold on to the ladder. Now, there is a drawback. you mine incredibly slowly. You mine incredibly slowly. So you have to kind of work through this. So what I'm aiming towards in digging down like this, I'm just gonna, so you guys can see a little bit, so I can see a little bit, is I want to get down to Y level 16. Outside of mountains, so like above Y86-ish. Y level 16 is probably your best source for iron. So I'm going to dig. I already see something on the map that has me a little bit excited. I already have something on the map that has me a little excited. We have a mine shaft. And it appears to be right around Y level 24. So it's something we're going to have to dig to. But it is a nice thing to see. Let's go ahead and eat our apple. Let's put some of these resources away. Let's grab our cooked fish. And then I'm going to make myself another collection of ladders. That should get me down to Y level 16 easily. Might actually get me low enough to Y20. Definitely get me to Y24. Maybe that's what we'll do. Instead of getting down to Y16, we'll go down to Y. Let me get a better view of this, because that's what I'm going to be shooting for. Y25. Dig from here over into that. Yeah, let's get down to Y25, and then we'll tackle that. We'll start exploring that mine shaft. Gonna be interesting. Okay, so we do have a little bit of a big cavern here as well. It looks like that mine shaft is gonna bridge across, so that may be once we get. Ooh, is that part of the mine shaft or part of the cave? That looks cave. Okay. Alright, well, here's part of what I came for. Don't really need the gravel at all. Just so something doesn't happen and something, yeah, doesn't happen and breaks the ladder. I am going to, sorry, just so I can get up there and get the rest of this iron. we're going to use some of the resources we've been gathering here to build ourselves a nice, safe little tunnel. We should be getting to... Ah, dang it. One block too high. Or too low. Which is fine. Just means I'm gonna... put that there for now. Break our way into here, and let's take a little bit of a gander through the mine. Now, one of the things I like to do when I'm going through a mine shaft is, at the end of a tunnel, put in a torch. And I had a feeling there was a little bit of iron hiding out. I also like to actually take out all of the structure. I'm not going to do that here. At least not yet, because I just want to get a little bit of the lay of the... Just want to get a little bit of the lay of the mine shaft before I commit to spending any serious time. Okay, I got to remember that I don't have a light level overlay mod, so I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna deal with that. I'll figure out how I'm gonna deal with that. So I'm probably going to have more torches down than I would usually prefer. Now there's string here, and normally I would be jumping all over the string, so I would need it for a backpack. One small problem. There aren't any backpacks in this map. Alright, let's take a look at what we've got in here. Golden apple, I will take. Yeah, it's not terrible. See, here's something I wish was vanilla. That is the ability to take chests out of minecarts. I will grab that, but it's not one I'm gonna probably hang on to for very long. Maybe one of the things that I get rid of right away. Okay. Let's climb the stairs, see what we got going on up here. I am gonna knock this down. Just so we can see, and again, we're seeing lots of iron. We're in like the perfect or second best areas for it. Okay, let me rephrase that. Third best areas for it. First being obviously an actual iron vein. Second being up in mountains, up in the upper elevations. Yeah, got a feeling. See, this is another reason why you take the time to dig around a vein. Because you never know when you're going to find something off to a side. There we go. And of course you destroyed that torch. That would be way too simple. Well, that did surprise me that was there. I know they can appear. I just was not totally expecting it. Okay, we've got some dripstone here. That's probably another pathway, so I'm not going to dig that out. This is probably more pathway. Okay, so this room here is the center of the mine shaft. Okay, well, it's gonna be a good explore. I will tell you this right now, it does look like it's gonna be a good place to explore. We do seem to have gathered a decent, I will say decent, amount of iron. It's not a perfect amount of iron by any stretch. Yeah, this could be a good place to go to spend some serious time exploring. Not precisely what we want to do today, because I don't have resources with which to actually gather this stuff. I want to have something, bundles, or torches, anything of that nature. So that I can actually have a place to put stuff and store stuff, so I can spend less time running back and forth. Okay, I've got nine more ladders. 26, so I need to go down. It's not going to get me quite to Y16. Not going to quite get me to Y16. Yeah, I am ever so slightly short to get to Y level 16. Okay. We've got a little bit of copper. So let's climb up to our hobbit hole here. Put a bunch of stuff away. Do I actually want to keep a stack of cobble with me? Let's make ourselves one more set of ladders. And let's turn the rest of these. Make an iron pick, actually. let's do that. We've got our tree farm growing a bit. Oh, we were down. That's good. Again, not hugely worried about wood yet. I got a decent amount for an early game. Day 3, day 4 time frame. Let me get a little bit more torches. Alright, let's see if we can't go down to level 16 and start something that I hope is not going to interfere too much with the mine shaft. I'm hoping the mine shaft is going to drop out away from this. Okay. So I'm going to put a torch right there just for the moment. Again, just so you guys can see. Dig into the wall a little bit. And we're going to just... Oh, this is going to be interesting, I think. I'm looking up at the map, the mini-map, because I just kind of wanted to see what we'd be looking at. I think we're on top of a trial chamber. I think we've got a trial chamber down here. So I'll drop a torch there. I think we're on top of a trial chamber. That could prove to be interesting. So what I'm going to do is employ one of my next favorite mining techniques. It's a mining technique that I have dubbed zipper mining. So I'm going to dig out my torch down, and I'm going to dig 5 blocks into either wall. Now, it's not going to make a whole lot of sense just yet. But I promise it will. Once we get a little bit more, once we have progressed a little bit more. Let's see. There we go. That is going to make much more sense once we're a little more progressed here. So I'm going to give myself 7 torches on the offside of my main pit. Once I have the 2 side branches, I'm going to dig 6 blocks forward and repeat the process. But because of the new lighting mechanics and the new spawning mechanics, I don't need to do a torch every branch. Doing every other branch and it'll be fine. I don't have to worry about mob spawning. And because I am kind of a bit of a binary type guy, binary / computer type guy, kind of a little bit of a geek or nerd, I do 8 torches because it's a nice binary number. Now I do have, and this is where it's going to get interesting. Okay. I do have, I'm going to rearrange my hotbar for a second. Not what I was wanting to do. There we go. I do want to actually put in, there we go, a floor to this branch. I might need to do a little bit more than that, actually. this zinc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's copper there, so I'm not worried about copper. Now that is likely to change. That is very likely to change. Let me cave dive over here and see what we got. I'd like to grab when I can. When I'm looking at the dripstone, both the pointed dripstone and the block that's attached to. Not strictly necessary to do that, but it is something I like to do. Okay, there we go. So that if I wanted to set up a lava farm, the pointed dripstone lava farms, I have both the pointed dripstone and a dripstone block to attach it to create the farm. And I could, if I really wanted to, put together a dripstone farm with what I have now. Okay, so let's continue on. We'll take 6 blocks forward. I'm gonna fill in holes. We have a torch in our last one, so we'll just bypass the torch. It'll become a little bit clearer why I've dubbed this zipper mining. These side tunnels are what I'm calling the zipper teeth. When we move on to another branch or leg of the tunnel. Oh, perfect. I still have a stone pickaxe to work with. Good. Trying to preserve my iron pickaxe at this point because I am not super iron rich. I also want to make sure I'm taking note of any andesite deposits. I'm going to want to very likely grab some andesite on the way out. Alright, so just took a quick look at the time because I want to do these videos as unedited as possible. And we are nearing the end of the current episode. So I'm going to dig a little bit further out here. And we're going to just kind of keep going and see. I think we'll just do 4 for now. And then on our next episode, which will be starting here shortly, we will start our first leg. So, as always, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this attempt at a playthrough of the Just Create mod pack, popularized by the Just Create SMP crew FoxyNoTail, MrBeardstone, Stam.io, ChosenArchitect, Dejojotheawsome, and a couple others that I don't remember. And I do wish you all a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good times unto you all, until we meet again on my next misadventure.